Visionary Knox.
What's good, everybody? I hope y'all been blessed. It's been a long time since I've sat down to record one of these Knox talks. So I got a little bit of a cold, so don't mind that shit. I'll be sniffling and my voice probably sounds a little fucked up. But so this morning, I woke up feeling tired as fuck. After I went back to sleep for an hour. I woke up at 5 a.m. I felt good, but I wanted to take advantage of not having my kids and everything. And so I went back to sleep for another hour or two. It ended up being 2 hours till 7, and I woke up feeling like shit. And it's been harder to push through since then. I feel like I would have been better off to start the day at 5. Should have gone with that, but live and learn. So I got up at 7. I was feeling groggy, tired, and sluggish. Started off, I got some emails sent off. I got some beats sent off to a few people. And then I started doing some exercising, listening to music, and I find the music really brought my mood back around and livened me up a lot. I should have got to that a little bit earlier, I think. Knowing that now, it's probably going to be the first thing I jump to next time I feel like that. Just get right into some music or something like that. Or also, too, I noticed a little jump in my ambition and motivation after I watched a Gary V video this morning on his Instagram. And it was talking about basically a formula and process of the amount of content people need to be releasing, and somewhat on a strategic basis and a more practical basis as well. And it really got me thinking, because I've been slacking on doing these videos for a while. I think the last one I put up was like 3 weeks ago, almost a month ago probably, maybe even more than that. I'm not too sure exactly, but it's been too long. And the thing is it started off kind of something that was intentional, like I was just going to take a little break, and then life takes place, and a lot has happened in the meantime, really. And then it just becomes harder and harder as it goes to really pick back up, because it becomes a point where it's like I've got so much to say, but then it's like where to begin. And the key thing is if I don't begin, it's just going to keep building up and building up. So here I am getting back into it, because also on another sense, I do feel a sense of accountability to keep on bringing content like this, because I see the results of people are getting something out of it, and I feel like that's cool. So I feel accountable in a sense to keep pushing through and doing that. So here I am. But on this Gary V post, he was talking about for instance, why I'm here specifically doing this is because he really kind of gave me a swift reminder of how much I need to be putting content out regularly, daily, and this is one of the ways that I do that. So this is something that I'm doing to kind of get back into the action of doing that, and take work and take some initiative and get proactive on implementing it, really. So here I am. But it's funny, because Gary V has very much impacted me so heavily, and there's so much that I take in of what he says, and I implement it instantly, because I'm like, yo, that's for me. And it's not to say that everything else, I know damn right majority of it, if I actually applied it and did it all, it would more than likely work. Pretty much everything I've implemented from him, I've seen results. But in all actuality, there's certain things that it's fundamentally I do that really go against what he recommends. In all actuality, he suggests, especially at my point where I am, to be more documenting and everything, which I do try to a little bit, rather than to be sitting here and trying to tell everybody my views or my ways or kind of thing, and it almost seemed like pushing my ways onto other people. But in all actuality, it's something that I just feel like I would never really implement that part, because I'm just self-aware to know that this is just who I am. I do this. This is not something I've just started doing for camera. Yeah, it's something I did on camera to make content at one point, but ask anybody in my actual personal life, this is what I get off of camera. Last night, I was just sitting upstairs with my mom, and we were talking a little bit, and I have an Ancestry DNA kit that I filled out, and I put my saliva and did a little kit thing, and I got to send it off today, actually. But as I'm sitting there, it's we start talking about ancestry and all kinds of things, and one thing leads to another, and then it's like 4 or 5 hours later, and I'm going downstairs after we just shot the shit and had a crazy discussion for hours really last night about so much different stuff. And like, this is just part of who I am. So it's like, I would never go against that, even though I totally see his logic and his views on that, but I'm self-aware enough to know that even the person that I look up to the most really in that aspect, and in so many ways, there's just fundamentally things that I'm not going to listen to because I don't feel that it's true to me. And I'm just self-aware and confident enough in myself, and basically that, yeah, like, I know my own, I'm aware, like, I analyze things and I think about things in a way that I know that this is just true to me, and that's why I'm just getting back into it, and I'm just gonna do it, and I'm gonna keep killing it, because that's really how I do. And don't get it twisted, like, I haven't put out anything on YouTube in a little while, and that's why I'm getting back at here, because I need to be start a lot more active for my YouTube community, and yeah, all the people who like to watch it from YouTube and everything, and just to keep the series of the Knox Talks going, because it's something that I feel like I've started. You know, it hasn't been on any schedule, so people don't really like hold me accountable to that, and people don't really even hold me accountable to anything else, but I feel accountable myself to keep it going because the response I see from other people, because sometimes the way that I feel, I'll watch a Gary Vee video and I'm like, yo, like, I needed that today. That's kind of like what I was just thinking last night or this morning or whatever, and it just kind of re-embraces something that was already going in my own mind some days. And I feel like when I put out content so many times, that's the response I get from other people. Like, people message me all the time when I release shit, and like, yo, like, that's what I needed to hear, that shit, or yo, like, that was cool, like, I really like to watch, like, the beat making videos I do, you know, like, a lot of people like to see the behind the scenes to the music that I make, and that's where it comes into play in all actuality what Gary Vee is saying, because more documentation, because that's the stuff what I'm doing, that's what I do regularly. Like, I don't, it's hard to say that I don't just talk all the time regularly, but I spend a lot of time busy and working and doing other stuff, and I often do little stuff on my Snapchat and my Instagram and my, like, on TikTok and everything, because that's something else I've expanded into a lot of different platforms that I'm engaging in on now on a regular basis. And that's another thing that I've implemented from Gary Vee, really, that it's relevancy, because in all actuality, a lot of people on Facebook and Instagram, it's so easy to get dependent on where your initial following is and your initial base of engagement. But in all actuality, like, I was on MySpace. Like, I was on MySpace and popping on MySpace. Like, I was doing pretty good back in the MySpace days still. And in all actuality, there's a lot of people out there probably who are following me and on my shit long enough to actually remember that. So if you are one of those, drop a comment and say what's good, because that's another thing. Like, I've been doing, as much as I might look new on the scene to a lot of people in the last year, people who know me know, like, this shit has gone back in my life. The music, the even shit like this, the rants and the passionate about life changing, and like, it goes back to my childhood, really. Like, it was always something that was just part of, it developed into being who I am. I was making beats and writing rhymes and shit at a very young age. Like, I don't know exactly how young I was, but ask anybody in my family or anybody who I went to public school with, or, like, you know, people can verify this shit. So that's another thing too. Like, this is just something that's just, it's true to me. It's always been part of what I do, and now I just know that that's part of who I am. So I keep doing it, and I'm just embracing things like that in my life, really. I'm just embracing who I am and learning to love who I am, because self-love is so huge, and it transcends into the way you conduct and look out for other people, because it starts with how you love yourself. And that's a key thing. That's been a key thing for me anyways, is self-love. But I feel like that's a different that's its own video. That maybe will be tonight's video. I'll talk about self-love. But yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap this one up here because honestly, I'm still a little foggy. I need to get back to doing some work and shit. But I just wanted to take action. I wanted to do something. It's something that I've needed to get back going, and here I am. This is many times that I slack off on these, specifically on these Knox Talks. But like I was saying before too, YouTube isn't really where my initial following was. It's just a platform that I used to put my content on, you know, in all actuality. So it's like I haven't always been as much conscious as keeping regularly active with posting, like as YouTube is its own community, really, because it really is. And that's another thing too. I hope if you're watching this from the YouTube community, I hope you know I love you all just as much as anybody on my Snapchat, anybody on my TikTok, anybody on my Twitter, any on my Instagram, any on my Facebook. It's like all the people who are out there showing me love in different ways and supporting my shit in different ways and following my content in so many different ways. It's been so great. I really don't know. Like, I know I would still be doing exactly what I'm doing probably in all actuality with who I am and how my life is gone. I would probably be doing the exact same thing, but without amazing people like all of you, what I could make of it is nothing. You know, what I can make out of it is because of all the amazing people like you watching this, who support my content, who get something out of my content and keep on following my content, and that's really an amazing thing. So as I cut this out, I just want you all to know I love you all, I appreciate you all, and I hope you're all having a blessed day. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Do whatever you can to get my content out there if you really have gotten something out of it, because that would mean a lot to me, plain and simple. It really would. And if you plain and simple, if you get something out of any of my content, please give it a share to somebody else, because maybe they will too. And that's what really keeps me going, because it's helping other people as well as it's helping myself. And that's another thing too that I'm going to get into on a future thing, is selfishness, because so much of don't get it twisted, like I love people, I wish the best for everybody, really, in all actuality, I really do, and I try my best to do my best to help other people do their best. But in all actuality, the fundamental reason why I like to do so much for other people is because I'm selfish. In all actuality, it's like in my head, it's like a karmic thing, and like I like to give things back, because first of all, it helps other people, but I feel like it truly helps myself in the end. Like I feel like the universe brings it back to me, and that's just, it's fucked up, but in all actuality, to be honest, that's a huge key with me, and I'm going to get more into that on a later day, but I'm cutting out right now. But as you can see, I could keep ranting and going on. One thing leads me to another. Like, this is part of who I am, so I'm not going to stop that shit. I'm not going to stop this shit. I'm just going to pick it up and keep it going more and more and more. So I hope you are all having a blessed day. Like, straight up, I appreciate everybody following my content, everybody who likes my music or has ever shown support in any way. Really, anybody who's been a part of my life has pretty much impacted it in probably a way that more than I can describe. So straight up, one love to you all. I hope you're all out having a blessed day. One love.